Since 2004, Congress and the President of the United States has designated October as Cybersecurity Awareness Month. Now, you're going to see a lot of stuff every single year around this time, and we're no different. But make no mistake about it, this year is all about seeing yourself in cyber. It's all about the individual, because at the end of the day, cybersecurity is all about people. So let's talk about it. There's two things the government really likes: acronyms and shutting the water off at my office. For some reason, this is like the third time it's happened this year. So I'm shooting from a different location. Cybersecurity Awareness Month is important for everybody. Now, it really should happen every month, but we have to have a month for everything. We have to have a day for everything, right? So CISA, or the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, and the National Cyber Alliance, or NCA, lead the collaborative effort between the government and the industry to raise cybersecurity awareness throughout the United States and internationally. And this year's no different. So the theme this year is see yourself in cyber. It's all about reminding everybody that at the end of the day, people are what matter. Now, I posted a video a couple days ago that it kind of leads to this. 95% of all breaches are because of human error. Humans make mistakes. And the better we are as individuals, the better we are for our businesses, for our families, and just for us. So this video, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about 4 things you can do. Now, this is stuff I've talked about in the past. It's just more of a reminder. But it's a good reminder for this month and just going forward that we need to take just small steps every day to get better. And we can help make this world a better place. We can help make everybody more secure. So let's get into it. All right, number 1 is think before you click. Recognize phishing and report it. If you're in a business, report to your IT, report it to your manager, report to somebody. See, if a link looks a little off, if the sender doesn't quite look right on the email, or it includes a document that you're just not quite sure of, don't open it. Don't click on it. It's pretty simple. Most of the ways that companies have business email compromise, or they have some sort of ransomware or something like that, or even individuals, it comes through email. So we as individuals need to be very careful about what we click on. So if you're not expecting a package, don't click on the FedEx email. If you don't have a PayPal account, don't click on the PayPal email and start putting your credentials in. Now, I get phishing every single day. I get spam every single day. So I have to make decisions every single day. And a lot of that's because my emails existed for so long that I must be at every list known to mankind. And you could be the same way. If your business has been around, or if you've had the same email address for a long time as an individual, you're probably going to get a lot of phishing emails. You're probably going to get a lot of spam. But the phishing ones are the dangerous ones. So just be mindful of what you get and just think before you click. And if for some reason you click on it and you think it's a mistake, close the browser and report it to somebody. Number 2 is probably one of the most important things. It's update your software. And I know people don't like turning out automatic updates and things like that. And you don't want to check your software, but your software is probably the single most important thing you can keep up to date, because every single piece of software that you have probably has had a vulnerability at some point that's led to an exploit. Now, maybe you were never affected by it, which is great, but a lot of people are. Google Chrome has issues all the time. Adobe has issues all the time. But most of the time you could turn on automatic updates, so when they figure out that there's a vulnerability or a bug that can lead to some sort of incident, they'll patch it. We want to make sure that we're updating that, but we also want to make sure that we stay with software that can be updated. So if you're trying to run QuickBooks from 2003, just stop. Update to the newest version, or one of the newest versions. If you're running software, again, that's from like 2010, just stop. Find a new piece of software that can be updated, because most software companies aren't going to support a piece of software past 5, maybe 10 years at the most. So just make sure you update your software. All right, number 3. I cannot say this enough. Use strong passwords, but also use multiple passwords. Every site you log into should have a different password. And I know you're human, you can't remember them. I get it. Use a password manager. Use LastPass, use Keeper, use OnePass, use something. Apple just integrated a bunch of this into iOS 16. So if you want to use Apple as your password manager, go ahead. It's better than using the same password across multiple sites, because guess what happens? When you use the same password, people, if they get access to that password in that email account, they're going to blast it across a bunch of sites to see what they can get access to. So the rule of thumb is you want to make it unique, but you want to make it long. Length in this case, as far as passwords go, is very important. The longer the password, the harder it is to crack, including a complex password that's 8 characters is actually worse than a not complex password that's 16 characters. And I know that's counterintuitive, but length is very important for passwords because it's harder to crack that way. So come up with a password for maybe like a password manager, come up with a long, complex password. Maybe it's a song verse that you have or something that you like that's 20 characters or whatever that you can remember all the time. And then use a password manager to generate unique passwords for every single website. That's really important. That way, if somebody does hack a site and they get access to that username and that password, it doesn't work anywhere else. So it minimizes your blast radius. So remember, length is important. Over 16 characters is probably the easiest recommendation. Now, some sites won't support that, and I understand that. So you'll have to go by whatever the sites support. But if you can, go more than 16 characters. Spaces are awesome. Punctuation is awesome too, but length is more important than the complexity. All right, number 4, you've probably been told this 1,000 times, but use multi-factor authentication. Enable it everywhere. And I know people want to use this term multi-factor authentication fatigue. There's too many times I have to do that. It's really not that bad, especially if you use certain applications to do it. Yes, you're probably gonna have to put a rolling code in. Yes, there is a chance if you use push notification for multi-factor authentication that somebody could get access and keep blasting that notification to your phone. There's going to be things that are going to help get around that. But having multi-factor authentication on is so critically important, because if a password does get leaked, they're not going to be able to log in without that second factor. And that's the important part. So your bank is really critical. Things that are really critical to you, your email, your bank, your investment platforms, anything in your business, again, turn on multi-factor authentication. And if you can't, the strong password that we talked about before is even more critical. And really report to the companies that don't support multi-factor and say, look, I want you to support this. Because it's your data, it's your life, it's your responsibility to use a strong password, but it's their responsibility to make sure that they provide you with a secure platform for your information and your data. All right, so if you want some tips just for this month, and they're free, no obligation, you just gotta put your first name, your last name, and your email address. We'll start sending them to you. Go to risk.techiegurus.com/cyber-2022, and I'll put the link down below. Just go there, sign up. We'll send you tips. I know it's the 3rd or the 4th of the month whenever this gets posted. I'm sorry about that. I'm personally going to be posting videos every single day this month with the statistics and things that maybe you didn't know about cybersecurity that's important. And that's what's so important about this, is remember, it's all about you. It's all about how you can make better decisions to protect yourself, and it makes it better for everybody else. So spread the word. Share the message. If you see a tip, if you see something out there that could help somebody else, share it with them. This is how we get better. This is how we combat the cybersecurity issues that we have today. And you're going to still keep seeing companies getting hacked. That's not going to stop. Your company might get hacked. Your email account might get hacked. It's not going to stop. But you have to take the necessary precautions to make sure that you minimize that risk as much as possible. So remember, it's all about you. And if you want to have a conversation, we're more than happy to have a conversation with you about your business. We don't really handle personal, but you know what? If you send us a comment or drop a comment down below, we'll certainly try to answer it. So get ready. We have some cool stuff coming this month. And until next time, stay cyber safe.